Okay, for Hold Paramount Chapter 4, we're going to be discussing responsibility of engineers in a little more detail. How engineers can actually be held responsible for plans they design, plans they approve, things they seal, and if they indeed fail, they can be held morally or even legally in some cases responsible for it. Okay. In the book we have an example given of a
dam.
Of a dam.
Built along a little creek, right?
Built along a creek. It was a dam for a paper mill, so they could use the water power. Mm-hmm. And the owner and the engineer had a conflict of interest during the construction.
The owner wanted cheap. He wanted it as inexpensively built as possible. And the engineer, knowing his job, was trying to make it safe and sound and secure and such.
And as time went on, the owner kept kind of cutting corners and doing things cheaper and
making changes without design engineers'
approval of what he was doing. So
this is a bad idea.
Very bad idea here. Now, should the engineer have, before the dam was built, inspected it and seen that his specifications were being met? I think he should have, yes.
Yeah, I think so.
But he didn't. It doesn't sound like.
No. Additionally, as the changes were made, he kept protesting, but in the end, he washed his hands of this business, and
during a flood, I think it was a melt or something, a heavy rain, early melt.
It was an early melt.
During an early melt, the water came up too high and it broke the dam and flooded the town. And killed like 78 people.
I thought it was 17 people, and everyone else lost everything.
78 people.
Oh.
Hatton took responsibility of it, even though technically it wasn't really his fault maybe in every bit, but really, in the end, since he was the chief designing engineer, he should have made sure that what he had approved actually took place.
We should mention that this was in, I believe, 1901?
1901 or something.
1901 and in there, so there weren't as many laws to protect natural
and he still stayed in the American Society of Civil Engineers, by the way.
Yeah. Wasn't he like the president or something at some point?
Yep.
He was. Success. However, he took responsibility when, at that time, the laws did not say that it was his fault.
Now, a more modern day description of this, now that we maybe can't...
This is a
depiction. A more modern day depiction of a problem like this is the bridge that occurred on the I-35, I think, over the river in Minneapolis. And
this was in 2007?
No. In 2007, yes.
Whoa!
2007. The bridge collapsed, and during rush hour it was fully loaded with construction equipment, and
13 people died.
13 people died
now,
this time.
Was it 145 people were injured?
Yes.
Ah.
Yes, you got that right.
Woo!
Okay.
Love numbers.
Now, it states that it was pretty obvious that there was a problem. The plates were obviously too small for the bridge. It was showing buckling. It was...
Was it too much concrete,
They just repaved the thing with another 5 centimeters of concrete, adding 20% more weight.
0.5, wasn't it?
It was 5 centimeters of concrete.
Okay.
That wouldn't be much of a facelift, would it?
No.
This is better. This weighs a lot more, too. And...
Johnson's depiction of
they added a lot of weight to the bridge, seemingly without taking into consideration what they were how they were stressing the structure. So the bridge collapsed, and I don't know if there was any one person was held responsible or persons, but definitely the engineers and whoever was supposed to be maintaining the bridge definitely failed and should be held responsible, in my opinion. Okay.
And here's Penny again, and
now,
there she goes.
One way that engineers can make sure that their designs, their structures are strong enough to withstand any impact or any force that it might encounter. They use something called a factor of safety. For instance, if a building is designed to withstand, if a building needs to withstand, say, 100 kilometers an hour of wind.
That's a lot of wind.
And they design it to withstand, and they make it to withstand exact 100 kilometers of wind, that's not exactly what you want. You want to withstand... Right, so it's like a safety factor of 1. So you got it.
Okay.
Now, if they built it to withstand if they wanted like a safety factor of 2, which according to the book, you want one greater than 1, so to
Makes sense.
account for any unexplained phenomena or forces that you haven't considered. Phenomena.
No, I just like saying it.
Okay. Or forces that they haven't been taken into consideration. Now, if you had a bridge that you need to withstand, maybe say 30 tons, and you want to have a safety factor of 3, so it'd be really strong, you could design it to withstand.
I know. 90 tons.
Got
Yay!
it. 90 tons, and you have a safety factor of 3 that would take into account some huge truck that might go over it sometime when you shouldn't. So, engineers can be held responsible for things they do, and they need to sometimes in design before it's even made, take things like factors of safety into mind to cover for anything that might happen unexplained.
Because nobody likes an accident.
Right. Okay. That's all from us.
Yeah.